Hello, this is Dr. Joe Muscolino. The following is an AI-generated simulated podcast of the contents of my ebook. I've created this and providing this because I believe that it is a very casual way and a comfortable way of listening to and absorbing the information. I hope you do enjoy it.
All right, deep divers, ready to dig in? Today we are tackling golfer's elbow.
Ouch. Yeah. Sounds painful, right?
It can be. A lot of you have been asking about it. We've been doing our homework too. We're diving into a comprehensive treatment guide for golfer's elbow by Dr. Joe Muscolino.
It's a guide. Yeah, it's comprehensive, all right? Like really in depth.
Which is great, but it also means it's dense. So we're here to distill it down, pull out those golden nuggets.
Need to know stuff.
Exactly, because let's be real. Not everyone has time to devour a whole medical textbook. Even if asks are super interesting.
Speaking of interesting, the name golfer's elbow, it's kind of a misnomer.
It is. I mean, how many of us are actually out there on the green every weekend?
Right. It can affect anyone who uses their hands and wrists a lot. We're talking about repetitive motion.
So, like, not just Tiger Woods.
Not even close. Think office workers, mechanics, even those of us glued to our phones.
Ooh, guilty as charged. So what exactly is golfer's elbow?
All right, so you know that bony bump on the inside of your elbow?
The one that sends shivers down your spine when you hit it.
Yep, that's the one. Golfer's elbow is all about the tendons in your forearm. Those tendons connect right there on that bump. And when they get overworked...
Inflammation, pain, the whole 9 yards.
Exactly. And what's cool is that Dr. Muscolino, he's all about manual therapy for this.
Which is?
Basically, hands-on treatment, think specialized massage techniques, but targeted at the muscles and fascia surrounding the elbow.
Not your average Swedish massage, then?
No. We're talking about releasing tension, improving blood flow, all that good stuff to promote healing.
So not just rest, ice, compression, elevation.
Dr. Muscolino would say no. He goes deeper. He talks about posture, for example, and how it impacts your elbow.
Really?
Yeah, how you sit, stand, even walk. It all plays a role. He even includes specific exercises to address postural imbalances.
That is fascinating. And this is where it gets even more interesting. The guide itself is really just the beginning. Dr. Muscolino links to video lessons for members of his platform, too.
Yeah. These videos, they seem like they'd be super helpful, probably show you exactly how to use those manual therapy techniques and exercises.
Because let's face it, sometimes you need to see it to believe it.
Totally. And to make it even better, he's offering a little bonus for our listeners.
Yes. Use the code Ebook10 for a lifetime discount. Not too shabby.
Pretty smart marketing, if you ask me.
Absolutely. But you know what I find most interesting about all this is it really highlights that treating golfer's elbow, it's not a one-size-fits-all thing. The guide, those videos, even the focus on posture, it all points to a more complex understanding of this condition.
100%. It's a good reminder that sometimes you need to dig a little deeper, right? Find an expert, explore different approaches.
Exactly. So to all our listeners battling golfer's elbow out there, your pain. It might be coming from something as simple as how you're sitting at your desk.
And with the right information, targeted exercises, maybe even some hands-on therapy, you can find relief.
Now, this has got me thinking. If something as seemingly straightforward as golfer's elbow can be this complex, what other health issues are we oversimplifying? Something to ponder, deep divers. Until next time.
This is Dr. Joe Muscolino again. You've just listened to the AI-generated simulated podcast of the contents located within the ebook. I hope you enjoyed listening to this podcast and you found it informational. Thank you.